How's it going, everyone? It's Warren. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU. The future of Marvel Studios has never looked brighter. We got a lot of new content released to us during Disney's Investor Day, including a little teaser from Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel Studios, about the Fantastic Four. Kevin Feige teased the Fantastic Four along with the X-Men at San Diego Comic-Con of 2019, confirming that they are coming to the MCU sooner than later. But now everybody is freaking out because the Fantastic Four is actually starting production. And you know what that means. That means that right now they are looking for, or they've possibly already found, a director, a writer, and of course, the cast. And as far as casting is concerned, it looks like Marvel fans might actually get what we want. And most of you, I'm sure, know what I'm talking about. John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic and Emily Blunt, his wife, as Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. Now, when Kevin Feige gave us that little teaser for the Fantastic Four during the Investor Day presentation, he didn't really give us that much information, just a tiny bit. But we do have an estimated release date for the Fantastic Four, and that is in 2023. And this is based off of an official report from Disney where they listed all of their new projects coming, and they listed the Fantastic Four between 2022 and 2023 projects. So we can expect it to come in about 2.5 to 3 years, which is a lot sooner than I think a lot of the fandom actually thought we were going to get the Fantastic Four. Now, we have some pretty cool and interesting news that's been happening lately about the Fantastic Four, but first, let's go over what exactly Kevin Feige said when he presented the Fantastic Four during the Investor Day.
And finally, I'm happy to announce a film about one of the truly iconic Marvel families. In fact, Marvel's first family, Fantastic Four. We're working on a feature now, and it will be directed by the director of our recent Spider-Man films, Jon Watts. We've got a lot in store at Marvel Studios, and Disney Plus is key to the interconnection and expansion of the MCU.
Now, if you noticed, he said that a feature is in the works right now, confirming that things are underway, which means Marvel probably already has a cast or knows who they want to cast for the roles and are working on casting them now. And it is looking like it could be John Krasinski and Emily Blunt playing the lovely couple of Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman. But the actors who are in the running to play the Human Torch, the Thing, and Doctor Doom may be a little different than you think. Now, the casting process for the Fantastic Four has definitely already begun, and this has been mentioned recently by a few different sources such as Grace Randolph and others. And of course, the big question is, who exactly are going to play these amazing characters, the Fantastic Four, Marvel's first family? Well, the Vegas betting site Bovada has released odds on which actors will play the four lead heroes: Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, and the Thing, and the villain, Doctor Doom. And we're going to go over each character and the odds of which actor is most likely to play the character. And we'll start it off with the one and only Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic. And as you can see here, there are 8 actors they list here for having the best odds of landing the role as Mr. Fantastic. And John Krasinski is at the head. Now, I do think John Krasinski would make a very good Mr. Fantastic, especially if Marvel Studios is going to want to mimic the more recent Mr. Fantastic from the comics. John Krasinski with a beard and Reed Richards in the recent comics with a beard look very, very similar to each other. And the characteristics of the more recent Mr. Fantastic from the comics could match really well with some characteristics from John Krasinski. Now, most of these actors on here are really great, and I think all of them would actually do a pretty good job. If they weren't going to cast John Krasinski, I'd actually really love to see Ewan McGregor, but I think he's going to be a little bit too busy filming the Kenobi series for Star Wars. And after him, I think Rahul Kohli would make a really good Mr. Fantastic as well. But let's keep in mind, Marvel Studios has already been speaking to John Krasinski, and this is confirmed. John Krasinski met with Marvel Studios via Zoom during the pandemic, but nobody really knows what he met with them for or what they talked about. But given the fact that he is the top choice to play Mr. Fantastic in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we can bet that that conversation most likely came up. And for those of you who say that fan casting doesn't work, well, Disney did that with Ahsoka. Disney did state that the reason they cast Rosario Dawson and the reason she was on their radar was because of the fans fan casting her. So Disney definitely does pay attention to the fans. And along with John meeting with Marvel Studios, his wife, Emily Blunt, has also met with them. She reportedly met with them while filming Jungle Cruise with The Rock, which is a Disney property. And since Disney owns Marvel, it was probably pretty convenient to meet with her. And we already know that Marvel and Disney love Emily Blunt. They actually wanted her to be Black Widow originally before Scarlett Johansson. And now this website has Emily Blunt listed as the top pick to play the Invisible Woman. So the odds for the couple joining the MCU as Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman are looking pretty good, although I wouldn't mind a Jessica Chastain Sue Storm. Also, let's not forget that John Krasinski did address the rumors, and he said, if they are considering me for Mr. Fantastic, continue to consider me because I would love it. Now, maybe Marvel hasn't talked to him, but this is most likely him playing coy, because we know that when actors are being considered for roles and they've met with studios, they don't talk about it. Perfect example is Tatiana Maslany. It was reported that she was going to be Jennifer Walters / She-Hulk, but when asked about it after the report, she actually denied it. But then, of course, during the Investor Day a few weeks ago, it was confirmed that she is indeed going to be playing She-Hulk. So the fact that John said that is most likely him playing coy. Now moving on to the Human Torch, and the lead right now is actually Anthony Ramos. Anthony stars in Hamilton and the upcoming movie In the Heights. I think a lot of people were expecting either Dacre Montgomery or Zac Efron to be first, but Efron is actually second, and Dacre is fifth. But what's curious is that Liam Hemsworth is actually in the running right now, and there was a rumor a long time ago, I'm talking like over a year ago, that stated that he was being considered to play the Human Torch. So this could be more than a coincidence, and maybe Marvel Studios is considering him to play the Human Torch. After all, his brother is Thor, Chris Hemsworth, so he definitely has some connections with Marvel Studios. Andrew Garfield is also listed on there, which is kind of interesting, but I don't think Marvel Studios would do that because there would be some confusion with the whole Spider-Man character to some kids. Now, as far as The Thing and Ben Grimm are concerned, the actors they have on here are kind of what you would expect. Leading right now is Stephen Graham and Dean Norris, who have the typical white bald guy look from the original Fantastic Four movie. And then they have people on the list like John Cena and The Rock who are just really, really big guys. But the thing is, Ben Grimm doesn't actually have to be played by a big actor. Mark Ruffalo is not a big guy by any means, but they use CGI for the Hulk. And they can do the same for The Thing. Ultimately, most of it probably will be mocap and CGI, so as long as the actor is a good actor, it probably doesn't matter too much. And then last but definitely not least, the odds for actors to play Doctor Doom. And first on the list is Giancarlo Esposito, who I actually really like for a pick. The only thing that I'm really worried about is that he may be a little too old for the role. But coming in second on this list is Cillian Murphy, who I think would make a very, very excellent Doctor Doom. And Nicolaj Coster-Waldau is on there as well, and I think he would do an excellent job as well. But as this site has it right now, the actors with the best odds to play the Fantastic Four are John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, Anthony Ramos, Stephen Graham, and Giancarlo Esposito. If these were the actors that are chosen to play these roles, what would you think of the new Fantastic Four? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all things relating to the Fantastic Four in the MCU. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it. For live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.